Good afternoon, Capricorn and cross watchers. Welcome to Inner Knowing Tarot Messages. Right, so I decided to make a start on April's readings for the month. Let's see what's happening for you, Capricorn, cross watchers. Where are you watching from? Thank you all for being here. So I've decided to add a different deck as well into today's reading. So I'm going to select one from the normal deck that I use, which is basically the wider rate type cards. And I've also got tarot cards from the Witches Tarot pack. So I thought I'd try them. They're by Ellen Degan, who is the author or creator of these cards. They look quite fun, quite pretty. So let's see what comes up. Okay, let's put them there. I'm also going to use the Crystal Angel card and also the Angel number cards as well, as it's a monthly read. Okay, so how did March go? Did the reading that we did together, was the energy there? Was the energy correct? Did it resonate with you? Let me know. It's always good to have some feedback and information. Right, so we start off with the Chariot, Capricorn, okay? And this is all about your victory. It's about you overcoming obstacles, success and ambition. It's about your determination paying off and having the willpower to keep going despite everything, no matter how tough things feel. It's also about you being self-disciplined. You know, your hard work is definitely paying off. And it's all about the focus that you constantly apply to everything that you do that matters to you most. So that's really interesting. Now let's see what this card comes out with. Ooh, we have a Knight of Cups. It's great artwork, isn't it? This is why I like this little deck here. It's fab. Okay, so this knight is clearly coming in now to offer you a cup of love, and it's a more serious type of love with this knight. You know, he's certainly of a higher status than a messenger, so it's not just a message, it's them really charging forward towards you and showing you how they feel. So maybe you're getting a message, or maybe you're getting a more in-depth conversation with somebody, or maybe you're going to commit to the next level. Let me know, guys. Okay, so crystal card wise, we have the Azurite. So this Azurite is all about your deep emotional healing. It's about your heart is ready to head from, you know, from being in the past to basically experiencing new and wonderful things. It's about being more open. Because you've done the healing, you've done the groundwork, you know, you've done the self-reflection. And so you're happy to open up more now and go to the next level in life and moving forward, starting new chapters. Now, with your angel number card, you have 0404, and this is about you slowing down. It's quite interesting, actually, this card came out because this resonates a little with the collective card that I did yesterday. And it's about, how do I say this? So, you know, like with manifestation, it's all very well, yes, you take action towards something that you want. But then once you've taken action, you've got to learn to then let it go. What I mean by that is, for example, if you were to plant some flowers in the ground from the seed, from the bulb, and once you've planted it, you don't then dig it up within an hour and think, oh, where's the flower, or where's the vegetable, or whatever you're growing. You would leave it there. You would leave it do its thing, let nature take its course. You wouldn't keep constantly digging up and then replanting and digging up again. That's just not going to help, is it? It's not going to help it actually grow and develop into what you need or what you want. And I would say the same thing applies to yourself wanting things to come to you in fruition with manifestation. Excuse me. So maybe you want a job. Okay, so what do you do if you want a job? You apply, and then once you've applied and you've done everything you can, you know, by filling in the application form, maybe attaching a CV, putting information in your covering statement. Maybe it is a case of that, you know, once you've applied, you then email it off, or you post it, or however the way the process is, or filling in an application form online. And then you let the, you know, the company then make a decision on whether or not they want to call you in for an interview, or whether that's a Teams interview. You know, you don't just automatically apply and then that day you get the job. It doesn't necessarily work that way, does it? You know, normally there's a process with something. It takes time. So looking at this card, it says here it's about balance, it's about power struggle, it's about force, violence, hope, authority, ancestors, restlessness, low vibrations, and warming. So it's basically asking you to pay attention, pay close attention to the people in your life, your surroundings, and your physical health. Don't freak out. It's just a warning to be careful and awake to avoid any further issues. Communicate clearly and keep healthy boundaries. Now, this is something, I'm a Capricorn, so this is something that I have certainly been doing more so for the last 3 to 5 years, setting boundaries, removing people from my life, whether that's family or so-called friend. You know, if they don't show respect and they're not loyal to you, then to me you've got no place in my life, basically, which might seem quite black and white, but that is kind of how I am. You know, I'll be very supportive and give as much as I can to people within my limits, but if it's not reciprocated, or if people just want to take you for granted and it's just a one-way thing all the time, you start to realize then if they're really a friend or not, or if they're just there for their own, you know, advantage. So that's one thing I'll say about healthy boundaries. Equally with family's just the same. You know, a family, if they don't, again, show that love and respect to you, and they just want you to do for their benefit, then you've got to question yourself: is it really worth your time and energy? You know, is it affecting you in a positive way or a negative way? And when things are said or done and it's always negative, then you've got to step away. And I have recently blocked a family member who I never thought I would ever do, but people change, and unfortunately, behaviors are not acceptable, and people can keep judging as much as they like, but you know, they've got to learn to respect you regardless of what you're doing. As long as it's not hurting anyone, why should it be an issue? And that's why I've had to create boundaries and make it very clear that I'm not putting up with it anymore. That's it, I'm done. So don't be afraid to do that, okay? But ultimately, take time out, you know, take time out and relax a bit. I've started doing this more. I've held back on a few things recently since November because my health took a bit of a turn. And I've realized now that I got to start putting me first a bit more than thinking constantly about businesses and, you know, trainings and all other things. You know, I'm just doing things more that I enjoy, that I find more relaxing, and things that I resonate with. So I hope that may give you a little bit of an insight on ways and things to think about, really, and just to see if there's anything you can actually stop doing or eliminate or reduce, or just put aside for now and come back to it maybe later in the year, if that's possible. So there we are, Capricorn and cross watchers. Thank you all for being here. I hope April is a wonderful month for you, and I hope we'll have some amazing stories and things that you can feedback to me. I will be back again mid-month to give you a little mid-month check-in. Until then, guys, have a wonderful month of April. Take care and stay blessed.